Yesterday, December 7th, 1941, a date which will live in infamy, the United States of America was suddenly and deliberately attacked by naval and air forces of the Empire of Japan.
The United States of America is currently at a crossroads because of the extreme situations throughout the nation. These situations have resulted in high levels of racial tension. Some people feel that justice for all races is not advanced at all in this country. I feel that it is important to step back and analyze the history of the United States of America to see if this is true. The biggest racial injustices in the United States were most likely the enslavement of African Americans, the confiscation of Native Americans' lands, and the treatment of those of Japanese ancestry in the United States during World War II. I would like to pose some questions to my students to answer and reflect upon throughout the subject of racial injustice in the United States of America. Were you aware that Americans were rounded up and imprisoned without committing a crime during World War II? So what do you feel you would have done? The attack on Pearl Harbor in 1941 by the Japanese created such a scare throughout the nation that President Roosevelt issued Executive Order 9066. This mandate required people in the United States of Japanese ancestry to be forced into relocating into military-controlled internment camps. This affected nearly 120,000 people until it was revoked in December of 1944. Nearly two-thirds of these Japanese Americans were American citizens. President FDR's executive order was followed because of the extreme fears Americans had of espionage and sabotage possibly being committed by the Japanese inside of the United States of America. There was never a single one of these individuals charged with a single crime during this time. So what does that say to you about their racial prejudice and inequality in America? No matter the state of affairs and levels of tension in the United States, we should remember that greater minds and hearts will prevail in the end. Times can and often are tough, but we should support and care for each other until we are all treated well. The current state of the Union will improve just as it did after World War II for those with Japanese ancestry. The nation quickly realized that Japanese internment camps were wrong and issued reimbursement payments for property and possession lost during internment. But the government took 40 years to pay restitution payments to the survivors. The greatest lesson our society can learn from the forced internment of Japanese Americans into camps during World War II is that we should be mindful of our actions towards all people. Not rush into action we may regret forever. Sit back and be thoughtful.